Dear friends, as we cross the threshold of 60, life ushers us into a new chapter. This is a time when our health may no longer allow us to do everything we once could with ease. The relentless pursuit of success, status, and wealth begins to lose its allure. Now, it is family, our children, and the peace of a simple life that hold true value. To ensure that the latter half of our lives is filled with serenity and happiness, there are 5 things we must avoid. First, do not let your age convince you that you are above others. Take the story of Mr. C, a well-known actor. Born into a large family, he was used to bustling dinners with over 10 people gathered around a big table. As a young man, he once thought it would be amusing to hide in a closet before dinner, expecting everyone to search for him. To his surprise, no one noticed his absence. They didn't even miss him at the table. After everyone had finished their meal, he emerged from the closet and ate the leftovers alone. From that day forward, he vowed never to consider himself indispensable, realizing that such a belief could only lead to disappointment. As we age, it's common to think that our years, our life experience, and our wisdom make us the most important person in the room. However, the truth is, our value is not determined by the standards we set for ourselves. True respect is earned through humility, restraint, and the ability to not place oneself above others. This in itself is a form of cultivation, a mark of grace, a higher state of being, an optimistic approach to life, and a sign of inner maturity. It represents a heart that has learned to let go of the chase for fame and fortune. Those who can approach others with a mindset of humility, who do not elevate themselves above others, will find themselves stronger and more graceful. Those who apply this attitude in their work will discover a life that is simpler and more steadfast. If everyone in society embraced this way of thinking, our world would become a much more harmonious place. Embrace this wisdom as you step into this new phase of life, and let it guide you to a future filled with peace and fulfillment. The second thing, to avoid excessive worry about your children. Last month, I noticed a local official visiting my neighbor Mr. P's house, measuring and taking notes. I thought perhaps Mr. P was preparing to sell his land. Yesterday, when I saw Mrs. P returning home and packing up their belongings into a small truck, I, along with the rest of the neighborhood, was shocked to learn that they had finalized their divorce and divided their assets. Their family land had been split into 4 parts, with Mr. and Mrs. P and their 2 daughters each receiving a share. Mrs. P is now in the process of selling her share to divide the proceeds between her 2 daughters and move in with one of them. The news spread quickly, a divorce in their 60s or 70s. It seemed almost unbelievable, but in truth, it's not uncommon for elderly couples to part ways after years of marriage. However, the reason behind Mr. and Mrs. P's divorce left me stunned. Mr. P shared that he couldn't bear the overwhelming love Mrs. P had for their 2 daughters and grandchildren, a love so consuming that it pushed aside the bond they once shared as husband and wife. There's an old saying, a child may care for a parent, but not as well as a spouse cares for their partner. The deep connection between elderly couples is irreplaceable by even the most devoted child. That's why so many seniors seek companionship in their later years, finding comfort in each other during times of loneliness and illness. But Mr. and Mrs. P, instead of leaning on each other, have parted ways, their marriage unraveling in bitterness at the end of their lives. Mr. P reflected on their years together, recalling how they fell in love and married out of their own free will, with no one opposing their union. Their life was full and happy, but everything changed when they had children. Mrs. P's maternal instinct to care for her daughters was so strong that Mr. P was immediately sidelined. She prioritized her children's needs above all else, both materially and emotionally. Initially, Mr. P understood, thinking it was natural for a mother to focus on her young children. But as the children grew up and built lives of their own, he hoped Mrs. P would shift her attention back to him. He was wrong. As the daughters grew older, Mr. P felt more and more marginalized. One daughter disliked dogs, the other cats, so Mr. P was never allowed to keep the pets he loved. Even after the eldest daughter married and started her own family, Mrs. P couldn't stop fussing over them, sending homegrown vegetables and eggs, and spending hours on the phone discussing trivial matters. When the youngest daughter had children, Mrs. P devoted nearly a decade to caring for her grandchildren, moving between her daughters' homes while Mr. P was left alone. He would sometimes feign illness just to have Mrs. P return home for a few days or weeks, but whether his illness was real or not, she would always leave quickly, claiming she was worried about the daughters' households. Friends advised Mr. P to threaten divorce, thinking it would scare Mrs. P and their daughters into paying attention to him. But when he finally did, the divorce became real. When Mrs. P signed the divorce papers, Mr. P was devastated. After decades of building a home together, he realized it was an empty, cold place. His elderly friends suggested that their daughters were selfish, using their parents as unpaid caretakers without regard for their father's loneliness. They should have understood their father's need for companionship and allowed their parents to spend their remaining years together. Dear friends, from the moment a child is born, parents are surrounded by countless worries whether the child is well fed and warm, safe from harm, and free from bad influences. Even when their children grow up, aging parents continue to worry. But sometimes, excessive worry can cloud the peace of one's later years, keeping them in a constant state of anxiety. Some may even become so consumed by concern for their children that they forget about their lifelong partner. This can lead to adult children either becoming overly dependent on their parents or, worse, cause marital discord and even the breakdown of their own marriages. Let this be a gentle reminder: as much as we love our children, we must not let that love overshadow the other relationships that matter in our lives, especially the bond with our spouse. In our golden years, let's cherish the peace, companionship, and love that we've built over a lifetime, and not allow worry to rob us of the joy we deserve. The third pitfall: to avoid excessive frugality. There was once an elderly couple who lived frugally all their lives, saving every penny to raise their 4 children. Time passed swiftly, and before they knew it, they had been together for 50 years. To celebrate their parents' golden anniversary, the now successful children secretly planned a special surprise, a luxurious cruise, knowing how much their parents loved watching sunsets together. With first-class tickets in hand, the elderly couple boarded the magnificent ship, marveling at its grandeur. The vessel was equipped with every luxury imaginable: swimming pools, elegant dining halls, cinemas, and more. However, the cost of the onboard services was steep, and although they didn't have to pay for the trip, the couple couldn't bring themselves to spend money. Instead, they contented themselves with simply sitting in their first-class cabin, admiring the ocean view. Worried that the ship's gourmet meals might not suit their taste, they had brought along a box of instant noodles, just in case. If they wanted a change, they could always buy bread and milk from the ship's supermarket. On the final evening of the cruise, the husband, thinking about what to tell the neighbors back home when they asked about the food on the ship, suggested they finally try the onboard cuisine. After all, it was their last night, and they wouldn't feel guilty about indulging just this once. As they enjoyed their dinner, with soft music playing in the background and the warm glow of the lights around them, the couple felt as if they had recaptured the joy of their early days together. When the meal was nearly over, the husband called for the check, still basking in the pleasantness of the evening. The server politely asked to see their ticket. Annoyed, the husband muttered, "I didn't sneak on board. Why do you need to see my ticket just for a meal?" The server patiently took the ticket, marked several empty boxes on the back, and asked in surprise, "Sir, haven't you used any of the services since boarding?" The husband, now even more irritated, replied, "What does that have to do with you?" The server, still calm, explained, "This is a first-class ticket. All meals, entertainment, and other activities are included. All you needed to do was present your ticket, and we would have recorded it here." The elderly couple fell silent, thinking about the instant noodles they had eaten every day and the approaching end of their journey. Dear friends, each of us is on a luxurious cruise through life, holding a first-class ticket. Life itself is the grand journey that the universe has granted us, and our very existence is that precious ticket. As we embark on this voyage, we must never squander the opportunities and experiences that our first-class ticket affords us. Too often, people live as if they're just getting by, like eating instant noodles to stave off hunger, unaware of the riches life offers simply because they've never considered using or fully appreciating their ticket. Life isn't just about working, studying, loving, marrying, and raising children. There are countless other experiences we must not miss: exploring new places, sharing extraordinary meals with loved ones, acquiring new knowledge, and embracing diverse ways of living. Many older adults have endured hardship, times when food was scarce and warmth was a luxury. That's why, even when life improves, some people still cling to the habits of saving from those lean days, just like the elderly couple who had first-class tickets yet survived on instant noodles during their luxury cruise. We are sailing on a magnificent ship. Let's boldly enjoy the pleasures it offers. Don't underestimate your own needs, and don't always think about saving money. Saving is essential when we're young if we want to enjoy a comfortable old age. But once we're older, our task is to care for ourselves, minimize the burden on our children, and treat ourselves well. Learn to eat well, play well, and live well, so that you don't waste the precious first-class ticket you've been given. Reflect on whether you've made the most of your first-class ticket. Don't wait until it's time to disembark and then regret missing out on all that life had to offer. Avoiding the fourth pitfall: living in isolation. From the moment he got married, Mr. N always told his wife, "If one of my parents passes away, we will bring the other to the city to live with us." He wanted her to be mentally prepared for the day when they would care for his mother. A few years ago, his father passed away at the age of 75 due to lung cancer, leaving his mother alone in their countryside home. Mr. N's sister lived just 3 kilometers away, but rarely visited due to her busy schedule, and his mother's grandchildren, now older and occupied with their studies, visited even less. True to his word, Mr. N brought his mother to live with him and his wife in the city. But from the moment she arrived, his mother became withdrawn, growing quieter and more isolated each day. The house had 4 floors, and her bedroom was on the top floor, making it difficult for her to reach. She had to stop and rest several times just to climb the stairs. Mr. N suggested they move her to a room on the 2nd floor, but his wife resisted, saying she was too accustomed to that room herself. For 3 years, Mr. N tried to make his mother's life more enjoyable. He brought her delicious foods, took her out to buffets, and included her in family outings. He wanted her to enjoy her old age, but she didn't seem happy. Often she declined these offers, saying she wasn't used to such meals and gatherings. At first, Mr. N tried to have lunch with her daily, but this habit soon faded. At home, she had nothing to do. A housekeeper came to clean, and his wife cooked dinner. His wife instructed her not to open the gate or allow strangers in, so she stayed confined to her room or the kitchen. The grandchildren were gone from morning till night due to school. Although Mr. N and his wife often left her food with the reminder, "Please eat lunch," he noticed through the camera that she rarely touched it. Instead, she reheated leftover rice or ate simple meals like instant noodles. Hoping she would be happier in the countryside, Mr. N eventually brought his mother back to her old home. However, even there, she remained isolated and withdrawn. Experts explain that many elderly people experience loneliness and withdrawal because they face 3 main psychological challenges as they age: declining cognitive abilities and memory, feelings of loneliness and anxiety, and a deep-seated sense of insecurity. After retirement, social interactions and relationships naturally dwindle, compounded by the physical decline that comes with aging. This makes them more prone to anxiety and loneliness, leading them to isolate themselves further. In truth, the closer we get to old age, the more vulnerable we become both physically and emotionally. Loneliness, the threat of illness, and the fear of death are significant challenges that we must confront. To overcome these, The elderly not only need the care and attention of their children and grandchildren, but also need to open their hearts, share their feelings, and connect with others. It's crucial not to retreat into isolation, carrying the burden of loneliness alone for the rest of your days. Dear friends, the term midlife crisis, introduced by Canadian psychologist Elliot Jacques in 1965, refers to a period of life when we transition from youth to old age. During this time, we often reflect on our achievements, goals, and dreams, comparing them to what we had once hoped for, and pondering our current place in life. After turning 50, we have just a few short decades left. Rather than criticizing or complaining, we should grant ourselves a portion of optimism and peace. Don't strive too hard, don't hold on to unrealistic expectations, and don't be overly frugal with yourself. Embrace a mindset of tranquility and contentment, and live the best of your golden years with optimism and grace.
If you find these stories inspiring and they motivate you to take action, please comment 9. If not, comment 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.
Part 2. Embrace these 4 essentials after 60 for a peaceful, joyful life. Turning 60 is not the end, but in a blink, 70 will approach, bringing retirement within sight. Preparation is key to avoiding chaos in this new chapter of life. By 60, most people have stable careers, some savings, and independent children. Even those who achieve success later face greater challenges than the young. Here are 4 essentials for those over 60 to ensure a serene and happy life. 1. Cherish your marriage. In the narrative of Uncle Ngo, we find a poignant reflection on the true essence of companionship and the enduring value of a committed partnership. At the age of 36, Uncle Ngo's life took a turn when he divorced and remarried a woman 10 years younger. Initially, this seemed like a new beginning, but the joy was fleeting, leading to another divorce. By 52, despite his material success, Uncle Ngo found himself enveloped in solitude. He sought companionship through matchmaking, only to realize that at this stage, many women were more interested in his wealth than in genuine affection. Uncle Ngo's experience underscores a critical message: material wealth cannot replace the warmth and fulfillment that a lifelong partner provides. The absence of a dedicated partner often results in loneliness, especially during times of illness or in the twilight years when emotional support is most needed. Uncle Ngo's fear of ending up in a nursing home, devoid of personal connection, resonates deeply with the harsh reality of many who find themselves without a partner in old age. This story serves as a powerful reminder to cherish and nurture marital relationships. For those over 60, it emphasizes the importance of holding onto the hands of their loved ones, valuing the shared experiences and memories that form the fabric of a meaningful life. The true wealth lies not in possessions, but in the enduring love and support of a partner who stands by your side through the joys and challenges of life. As we age, it becomes ever more crucial to cultivate and treasure these bonds, ensuring that we do not face the future alone. 2. Uphold filial piety and family values. The message of upholding filial piety and family values resonates deeply, emphasizing the profound blessings that come with having living parents, especially as one ages. In today's fast-paced world, where time seems to slip through our fingers, it's easy to overlook the simple yet profound joys that come from reconnecting with our roots. For those over 60, having living parents is not just a blessing, it's an opportunity to express gratitude and love in ways that money and status cannot replicate. Revisiting the family home or spending time in the tranquil embrace of the countryside allows us to relive cherished memories and bask in the simplicity that often gets lost amidst life's complexities. This return to simplicity is not just about nostalgia, but about honoring those who have shaped us and acknowledging their sacrifices. Inviting parents to live with you or visiting them frequently is more than a gesture, it's a reaffirmation of their importance in your life. It speaks volumes about the values that guide us and the respect we hold for our elders. Demonstrating filial piety goes beyond personal relationships. It sets a powerful example for the younger generation, teaching them the significance of respect, care, and love for elders. In a society that often idolizes youth and success, we must remember that true wealth lies in the bonds we nurture and the love we share with those who have given us life. Let us ensure that wealth and status never overshadow the priceless gift of family, and let our actions reflect the gratitude and respect our parents deserve. 3. Treasure true friendships. In the hustle and bustle of life, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters: the bonds we form with those around us. As we age, the realization dawns that true happiness and fulfillment are deeply intertwined with our relationships. This message underscores the profound importance of cherishing true friendships, especially as we navigate the later stages of life. By the time we reach 60, many of us have learned that distant relatives, while connected by blood, do not provide the same emotional support and companionship as nearby friends who share our day-to-day lives. It's these close companions who become our confidants, our support system, and our chosen family. They bring color and joy to our days and provide comfort in times of need. This message is a clarion call to embrace and treasure the friendships that enrich our lives. It's a reminder that true joy is found in the warmth of human connection and the knowledge that we are not alone in this journey. As we age, the love and care we invest in our friendships become the most valuable legacy we leave behind. 4. Maintain mental health. The message at the heart of this content is a powerful reminder of the importance of mental health and happiness as we age. Embracing joy and nurturing our mental well-being is not just a luxury, but a necessity for living a fulfilling and healthy life in our later years. As we reach the age of 60 and beyond, every day filled with happiness becomes a precious gift. It is essential to recognize that our well-being and happiness are within our control, and we must take proactive steps to cultivate a positive mindset. For older adults, this phase of life offers an opportunity to focus on what truly matters: joy, peace, and personal fulfillment. By learning to spend wisely on things that bring happiness and embracing rest and relaxation, we can enrich our lives. The idea that happiness is the essence of life after 60 speaks to the profound understanding that our mental health and outlook on life significantly impact our physical health and longevity. Facing life's challenges with optimism and resilience is crucial. The journey of aging should not be seen as a decline, but rather as an opportunity to redefine ourselves and our destinies. With strong willpower and quiet perseverance, we can navigate the complexities of life after 60, leading to a more enriched and satisfying existence. Ultimately, the message encourages us to let go of stress and embrace a life filled with purpose and joy. By doing so, we ensure that our golden years are not just about surviving, but thriving with grace and happiness. The choice is ours to make, and with it comes the power to shape our destiny and find true contentment in our later years.
If you find these stories inspiring and they motivate you to take action, please comment 9. If not, comment 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.